Yes, YouTube, welcome back to the channel, The Couch Pundits, here today with George, the Chelsea fan, Will, the Arsenal fan, and myself, Raz, the Tottenham fan. Today's discussion, we're going to be talking about, should Arteta still have a job at Arsenal FC? So, Will, you're the Arsenal fan. I'll just jump straight in with you. What are your opinions?
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because it's like, I like him and all, and I think he definitely, like, I'd keep him, but I think that's just more on like a personal level. Like, I don't dislike him on a personal level enough to let him go. However, the results speak for themselves. It's like he's trying to force an agenda or a type of play that, now looking at it, is not really suiting the team we have. Right, like, you can definitely tell he's got the tactics and the mindset to be a good manager, but he's not adapting. I think it is difficult to say adapting because no manager adapts. Every world-class manager plays their game, and they only play their game with the players that they have. For example, Mourinho, when he goes to teams, you know what it's like. He only will go or perform if he's got the players that he needs to play and perform. Same as Guardiola. Yeah. Guardiola doesn't go to these niche teams. Check Guardiola's history. He's managed at Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Man City. Why? Because they're the only teams in the world that can give him what he needs. So, like, in that sense where I'm like, oh, yeah, you should be adapting. I'm like, nah, perfect your craft. However, it doesn't look like it's going to change to suit Arteta's style. So in that sense, it's more best for both parties as opposed to best for us to let him go.
Yeah. No,
because our best situation is to keep him, but supply him with what he needs. But we can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Because right now you just got a hole in the middle. Even the squad depth. When you played against us, who was coming on for you that changed the game? You've got nothing.
We got nothing.
You got nothing.
The only player that, I'll be honest with you, Ceballos. He's a baller.
Yeah,
you've got to put respect on his name. He is an absolute baller, but yeah, it's confusing because Ceballos playing in a 2 midfield. They're complete different players. Like you say, like the substitution. It's like it's a bit of a weird one. How do you put Ceballos on after having someone like Partey off or Xhaka? Like, it's complete different dynamic. He's more of a player that you have as maybe having two of them type of players sitting behind him, and then he can be creative in front without having to worry too much about his defensive game.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think you've got the player who could change the game, but as we know, he's not doing his job, which is obviously Pepe. He's the guy that could do that thing, that special spark or something, but he's just not doing it.
Wrong player. I think you named the wrong player. Ozil.
Yeah, true.
No. In all fairness, though, you've got to remember this. Like Ozil, it wasn't like until after we'd stopped playing him that how could I say? Yeah, we'd realised he was finished before the whole him not being in the squad type thing due to whatever politics. Because you could see from his game, he played smart. Mayweather boxing style. You know how Mayweather people used to go, it's boring now watching, because he doesn't play to play. He plays to play smart. Because Mayweather says, look, I'm not here to get beat up. Everyone comes into boxing to get beat up and leave with Parkinson's disease. That's not my style. That's the way that Ozil plays. Ozil plays very lazy football. It's like, look, I'm not here to be killing myself running. I get paid racks. You understand? Just pass me the ball and I'll do what I do, but I'm not going to do more. I'm not going to do less. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's what Arsenal needs. Energy.
Because that's why I say Pepe, just because I feel like he could have came on, like when we bring on Pulisic, he does something different. Like you've got these different people that bring.
They break the status quo, because that's what Pepe does. Because even in the Europa football been playing, the last 3 matches he had man of the match performances, and he just does his own thing. Sometimes people need to just not listen to the gaffer, as much as you need to follow the rules. If shit's not going right, you have to change it. And Pepe is that guy. Pepe is that guy who goes, I respect what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like he's the only person that would have done something that would have changed the game, because he wouldn't have played to the style that they play. So
type of pick the ball up on the
just put the ball up and do something.
You said, why are you, man, just crossing the ball in? We can see let me cut inside and just test Lloris. Like
that's why I think he's the only person they have that'll do something different. But on the back end, he's not playing well enough to play. So
the scary thing for me is after the game, I'm not sure if you've seen Carragher's interview. So Arteta obviously he has his post-game interview, and he's saying, we played incredible. All players had the heart in him, and you can see how dominant we were by the amount of crosses we put in. So then Carragher's like, Carragher basically was like, I am astounded that he thinks just because they put 38 crosses into the box, dominated the game. Like, what do you think to that? Do you think that because of it, you could see Mourinho's game plan was, look, we've got Alderweireld and Dyer in the middle. You're never going to beat them in the air unless you brought Giroud on, which you gave to Chelsea. So you can put as many crosses in the box as you want, because we'll just defend it. So you think it was a strategy to go from that to then say that you dominated and played very well?
I mean, I think it's an odd one, because we definitely didn't play bad, but we definitely didn't dominate either. I mean, we dominated yes, on a technical level, we did dominate.
Yes, yeah.
You can't argue about it. It's stats. You look at the stats. If you didn't watch the game and look at the stats, what do you say? You dominated. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it's just Carragher being a bit, being a bit nitty gritty. However,
I think it's
what
naive.
more can you do, right? Because at the same time, it's like, how can I say? That is the game that, like you say, Mourinho does play. You have to dominate him to play Mourinho's game.
Yeah,
you have to. So in technicality, yes. If I was in Mikel Arteta's point of view, speaking on that press conference, I would have said we dominated, but we didn't take the chances. And that's simply what it is. Nothing more that we can do. Like, there's nothing. We weren't clinical, because in those situations, there was actually more than enough times the ball landed in good enough positions to score. You know, there's a ball that Tony whipped in FIFA style, bearing in mind he was behind the set of play and it whipped all the way back around. It actually came in so quick, Dyer couldn't even react. I don't know if you remember that ball coming in.
Tierney, Gabriel, different class. They're a cut above that. Like they're carrying your team. Partey, when he was on the pitch, looked good.
He ran forward. That's the difference.
Lacazette looked like he put in a shift. Didn't really do much. He had a chance. He had two.
And in all fairness, he played as well as he could do in a position that he's not clear in. Lacazette and Cam. I was kind of a mad one, I can't lie. I understood the point, because everyone knows Lacazette's touch is on a string. However, he hasn't got that creativity to play there. It's a bit of a mad one.
All up there normally, if he's got space, he can shoot like he did against us last season, the crazy wonder goal. So but I don't know. Even Aubameyang, did you see the video on Arsenal TV? Didn't look normal. Didn't look normal. He was like, he had his cap, just like, can't wait to play this game. Can't wait to turn it around. And it was just like, you know about me. FaceTiming troops and all Arsenal TV, laughing,
Always
joking,
happy.
and
Yeah.
he's like, cut the star in his head, and he's like, "Look, I'm about to turn up on Tottenham," and they just look demotivated. They look like they're saying, "Look, we already know that with Arteta as manager, nothing is happening. So I just want to play and just leave me alone."
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't look happy. I think that's a major thing. I think just going back to Chelsea, in a way, if you watch Chelsea, not even playing football, they're all like friends and they have like banter. Like I don't see any Arsenal players that really like kind of banter anymore or fun.
I was so jealous of Arsenal, right? If you watch our first one, Will was talking about DNA. Arsenal laughing and joking in the dressing room, laughing, calling Aubameyang, calling him ghost and all this. They're having fun. But now it's Chelsea that's laughing and joking. It's Tottenham playing basketball, training, just laughing around and
and I think that's what they're missing.
Yeah, they're just stressed.
Yeah, it's translated into football. So I think that's what they need. They need to start playing football, like fun. Have fun with the ball. I think they're taking it too seriously.
And thing is, and there is because, like, say in the Europa, right? Our stats right now, I think we're like 18 goals scored, 6 games in a row, won. In a row, won. And it's like, obviously, yes, it's still group stages, still or whatever. But we're proving that we can do it. But I think he just needs to have faith in that young squad. Because that,
I think the reason why you're doing so well.
11.
The reason why you're doing so well is your normal 11 are the, let's say, level-headed older players. Obviously, when you're playing your Europa, you're playing your youth players who have that. They're not bothered. They're there to play, to have fun. Yeah. So I think that's what you're missing in the Prem.
Because they have that thing where they'll just be like, they'll make a fusion, and against some teams you can do it, and it can come off, and you don't suffer repercussions like you do in the Premier League, where if you do one mistake you can get right. But because they've got that freedom, they play more creative, more fluid. You get more goals.
But this is the thing, though. I mean, you say that, but it doesn't matter if it's the first team or not, or the Prem or not. We play that football anyways. You understand?
Yeah. I think
goals we concede. I'll be lying. I'll be genuinely lying. You know, if I said I can remember the last time we actually conceded on like a just like a techie level where we've just been broken down. Ours is just we push so hard trying to score and get exposed time after time after time. We are always caught numbers against the odds type thing. You know, it's maybe a mistake in like higher up in midfield, and then we just break with so little pace that it's 4 defenders against 8 attackers. And I'm confused. I'm like, do you not see this happening over time and time again? And you don't think to rectify it. So I'm like, there's nothing to lose in the sense of bringing those kids in because they're playing the same type of football as they're playing in Europe, and there's no respect given to anyone.
And it's also, if you look as well, go back to Chelsea's last season. Now we're still playing kind of the same team, but our first team were just kids. They were fully youth.
They were playing different football. Yeah.
They were scary.
Lampard, all the pundits were saying, "Oh, can you trust Tammy? Can you trust Mason Mount?" And he was like, "Look what we're doing." But of course,
they've all done it. They've all proven.
This is our first job, right? He's been under Pep, but he's never actually been in the deep end. Like Gary Neville, he was under managers, went to Valencia, bro. Man said, I was just way over my head. Like, not saying that Arteta's over his head, but he's not gone to a Valencia. He's not gone to like a Hoffenheim or a different club that's not world prestige. He's gone to Arsenal straight away. The expectation, like
I think that's what it is. He's felt that pressure to be Arsenal,
kind of giving into some things. He's kind of being a lot. His actions just don't make sense sometimes, and that's why I just think if he was my manager, if I was Tottenham, Mauricio Pochettino was 14th. He got sacked. We brought Mourinho in. They're 50.
I think he just needs to do it. He just needs to let loose, let the youth just do that thing, change the thing up, and just see what happens. Can't get any worse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like definitely with the once again more inside in politics with the Pochettino sacking, he lost everything, right? He wasn't just losing games because Pochettino, you got to give him respect. He did something that no one of your managers ever did. But he lost the dressing room in public, not only in private, in public. This man would come out and say, I don't even know what I'm doing, man. My team's just niche. Fucking boardroom. That it was something that, do you know what I mean? Like, it was deeper than just results. Pochettino being sacked, because it was just fortunate that the man actually fucked his own situation up, because he could have still been there and you would have never got Mourinho.
No, so it was happening for a while. He wanted the same situation as Mourinho. Mourinho's head coach. Pochettino was head coach. He wanted to be manager. Didn't get it. Didn't get the transfers he wanted. And he was just like, look.
Threw his dummy out the pram. Yeah, he threw his dummy out the
pram. Don't set me up to fail. And then the team was basically playing the same way they played for the last 4 years. And they was like, we're winning nothing under the. And then Levy was just like, I'm just going to get a win. So obviously, big respect to Pochettino. Like, he's a club legend. He took us from 8th, like low end top table in
Champions League final.
Champions League final and top 2 finish. Like, you can never ever put any disrespect on Pochettino's name. Like, I've seen Arsenal fans saying they want Poch. Like,
he's looking at United, PSG, and he's also looking at Chelsea. Depending on how we do, that's the 3 teams he said he wants to look at the moment. So we'll see. Arsenal might be a thing if it comes up, but I don't know. I don't know what you need, but like, I just think you need a fresh.
Doing his Tottenham if he went to Arsenal. However, it wouldn't be good business for Arsenal because he's a great manager. But would hate him.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, now I feel like still. It's just freshening up a bit, because that atmosphere and everything, it started to come back for us, right? Like, we've got players that want to win. We've got younger players that actually understand the history of the club and whatnot, because that's what we always suffer from. We always used to buy these random players from random leagues. I never used to understand the actual importance of Arsenal club. You know, people like Willock, Saka, all these guys, Turney, they know how big it is to be playing for such a team like that. And they respect the badge big time. I just feel like, it's just...
You know what's funny?
Every time we go, we're just one signing away. I feel like it's not even necessarily a signing. It's just different vision, maybe. Maybe just mix it up, because how we're playing this 2 midfield every time and with no creativity, it's just... It is odd. It is really odd.
Funny, all your big, saying obviously Europa teams, but the people who are playing the Prem, who are actually playing well, are the youngsters. The only ones that are really playing well, like, are actually showing that they want to do something, are your youngsters, which just shows he needs to play more of them.
Best player at Arsenal.
And then because it is such a brave move to do that, because your back's to the wall, right? You then start playing youngsters. It seems desperate.
But he needs to do
also,
yeah, but it's one of them things where if you see him playing the youngsters, you're like, bro, okay, I can't really put anything on Arteta because he's changing. We've asked for a change. He's trying out because obviously he's basically that'd be a good message for me, because that would show that he's screaming at the owners saying these older
players aren't doing it.
These aren't doing it. I need to get the young boys and show them that their places aren't regular.
And also, it's one of those things, you know how it's like when sometimes, you know, you want something you want a change, right? But then the only way you know you're going to get a change is if you do bad. And sometimes to a point, he's also doing us a favor.
No,
Because
yeah, it's true.
It's best
True.
if he, in a way, he gives us a terrible finish without getting relegated. Because it forces a complete change. Like, you then can't argue to say, oh, but I know you come up with this team. No. Man's been playing this exact top team and we're getting nothing.
Your owners would love to get relegated. You get the buffer for getting relegated cash wise. Then if you do get to championship and then you get into the playoffs, you get massive payout. Your owners
now the only thing is teams like ours. You know, if we were to get relegated, like definitely, there's a lot of money in getting relegated and coming back up. However, we would go bust.
Yeah,
too many. Yeah, would go bust because the ticket sales, the match revenue, pay-per-view, TV views, all that. With the salary, it wouldn't add up. It wouldn't add up. But
you'd have to sell your whole team.
You see with Football Manager, you know how certainly, depending on what division you are, depends on what budget you have to play with. For the pure fact that it's not the owner paying. Like right now, it's not the owner paying. So if we were to get relegated, oh my gosh, the owner would sell the club immediately because he's then having to go out of his own pocket to start paying people, and that's his nightmare.
That's perfect. So we're all in agreement. I also need to get relegated. Just to end this segment, let's just get like a quick roundup. Jord, what do you think he should stay or should he go?
I think he should stay. Just because I don't think it's just Arteta. I think he could make a change. He just needs to do it. I think he's not brave enough to do it, and I think if he makes a change, then he'll be fine. I don't think he's tactically bad. I think he knows what he's doing. He's just stuck in a rut at the moment, and they're not going anywhere. So,
me, I'd give him till Christmas. Like you say, there's too many moving components. It's not just Arteta. It's the players. It's not just the players. It's the owners. It's not just the owners. It's like the fans. Like, something's just got to change. And whatever it's got, and then whether that's them saying we need to let Arteta go and bring someone in that can make the change and that's brave enough to make the change. They've not gone for a manager where, like, if they did get a pet, you know what he's going to do. He's going to say, "You got me. So where's my £100 million player?" You're going to like players as well. He's not just asking for one. He's asking for a team of superstars. Yeah. Mourinho's coming in and he's looking at going, "Where's my players? I need my players." Like Arteta, he can't physically, unless he's said to the owners, "These are the players I want. I can't do what I do without getting players." Unless he said that, then fair enough. But if they've said, "Oh, these are the players you've got," yeah, I'll do it. Bro, you've got to do it. So I think if by you can get a result, you got like Southampton, Chelsea, you got some teams at Brighton. If you can get a few results and maybe pick up some wins and get morale back, you could be.
And this is like the odd thing as well. It's like the distance from the bottom and the distance from the top is the same. It's the same distance, bar 1 point.
Yeah,
that's how like weirdly tight this Premier League is. Like everyone's getting points from everywhere. Like
except for Sheffield United.
Yeah, Sheffield, you can't get a win.
But they're still getting points on the board saying that, you know, even though
1 point is the lowest of all time in Premier League. 1 point. But yeah, Will, what's your final conclusion?
I think it's just all about timing because, like I said, I think it also didn't help his cause in the sense that with the whole timing of coronavirus and teams not being able to do their normal transfer business. So I would love to say until after January transfer window, but even that could be too late, you know, for him to be able to for there to be a change And
You want-
if a manager comes in after January transfer window, then he's
Yeah,
stuck
he's
with that
made, made
a
his
team.
own changes
Yeah.
to a team. That is so.
So such an odd one.
There you have it, people. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you go like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let us know if you've got any thoughts. What do you think? Should Arteta stay in Arsenal, or should Arsenal and get someone else? If they should get someone else, who should they get? Let us know in the comment section down below, and thank you for watching.